Hello and welcome to another video here on my channel. For all of you that don't know who I am, my name is Scotty Cranmer. I'm a lifelong BMX rider, well, a bike rider in general, but I actually rode professional BMX for a long time. But in 2016, I ended up having a career-ending, life-changing injury when I ended up breaking my neck and having a traumatic brain injury. And it was a very grim diagnosis in the beginning. They didn't know if I would ever be able to walk again, let alone ride a bike. But I was lucky enough to be able to get some control and feeling back in my body. And here we are 6.5 years later, and I am clearly up on my feet, and I am enjoying riding bikes still. And in today's video, we're gonna be enjoying another bike because Tenways actually partnered up with us, sent us the CGO600 Pro. We're gonna be building this thing, and we're gonna be riding it, and we're gonna do a full review on it. So let's get straight into it. So we're gonna start out by getting the CGO600 Pro out of the box, and that's my little brother Matty. He's gonna help me out today because I struggle doing jobs like this. But it didn't take very long to get the bike out and the rest of the components that came with it. We decided to put the bike in a bike stand to be able to get the rest of the packing material off of it and get it ready to be built up. My first initial thoughts of the packaging is that Tenways does a fantastic job protecting your investment. Everything is very well thought out and it all looks very professional. And that theme carries over into the smaller boxes as well. This box contains the owner's manual and other necessities, including all the tools that you will need to put this bike together. And it even comes with a really nice portable air pump, and the reflectors are also in this box. And underneath the first layer of the packaging foam are the pedals that come with the bike, and these are some really good looking plastic stock pedals. They are low profile and stylish. The charger for the bike also comes in this box. So the manual that comes with the CGO600 Pro has very detailed instructions on how to build the bike. I decided it would be pretty boring watching me build it, and this is a review, not a how-to, so I decided to skip ahead, so that's what we're going to do now. The other box contains a battery for the bike, and we were both very impressed with the packaging used to keep it safe during shipping. And I just love the battery that's on this bike. Tenways battery design is brilliant. It is the best looking battery on an e-bike that I have ever seen. It's a 36 volt, 10 amp hour lithium ion battery with LG cells, and the charge port is so easy to use, and that is exactly what we're going to do now. And after this bike is charged up, we're going to review all the amazing details of this already very impressive e-bike. So here it is in all of its glory, the Tenways CGO600 Pro, and my first reaction is wow, this is a very good looking bike. This is right up my alley when it comes to the design. I love the simple, clean branding on the bike. I love the cool, mature vibe of the build. Just look at the colors, the choice of the parts and accessories. You can tell that Tenways is passionate about their product and have created their own style while designing this bike. Every part of this bike is well thought out, and it's definitely not fashion over function. And it's definitely not the other way around either. Both are done so well across this bike from top to bottom. And let's talk about how this bike doesn't even look like an electric bike when you see it. The integrated battery into the down tube is so discreet you wouldn't even know it was there. But that's what's actually powering this bike. Well, besides you, of course. This is a pedal-assisted e-bike, and the Tenways magnetic torque sensor is a huge piece of the puzzle that helps create a smooth and accurate distribution of power from the motor based on your style of riding. And the motor is located in the rear hub. It's a stealthy MyVice M080 350 watt motor, and it's controlled by a MyVice CT01 controller located on the left side of the handlebars, which has an easy to read screen and it's very user friendly. Now we are moving on to what could possibly be my favorite feature, the Gauge CDX crankset and the Gauge CDN carbon belt. I'm obsessed with belt-driven bikes. They are so smooth and so quiet, and the fact that this is on an e-bike is just so cool. The tires are CST puncture-proof 700Cs that have a reflective line on both sides and feature a nice in-between kind of tread that should be able to handle a number of different surfaces. Now the seat is made out of a material that I have never seen before on a seat. It almost feels like Lycra. It's smooth and not too slippery and has a nice amount of cushion to it, and it conveniently has a quick release seat clamp to adjust the height on the fly. The CGO600 Pro comes with very stylish and very sturdy mudguards on both the front and the rear that attach very securely and complement the overall look of the bike. Another very cool feature is the integrated customizable front headlight. As you can see in my dark garage, it is very powerful without being overwhelming and blinding to other road users. Another one of my favorite parts that comes on the bike is the adjustable stem, which allows you to raise or lower the height of the handlebars, which is very important for a rider like me, and it is a very good looking stem. It doesn't take away from the styling of the bike at all. Now, stopping is important on an e-bike, so Tenways put hydraulic textural brake calipers on both the front and the rear with a set of great looking rotors. So now you've seen the CGO600 Pro, and the big question is, does it ride as good as it looks? We're gonna find out, but first we need to set up the Tenways app and register the bike to my account, which is very easy to do. All you have to do is scan the QR code on the bottom of the down tube. Immediately the information loads up on the app. Then you just have to fill in a couple more things, and then you connect the bike using Bluetooth. Now the bike is synced to the app, and it unlocks a bunch of cool features like a speedometer, a trip tachometer, a battery percentage and range gauge, and it even offers navigation on your rides so you can get where you're going without getting lost. So now it's time to finally get behind these handlebars and see how the CGO600 Pro rides. Oh, Turtle! No! No! You gotta go around, man. What are you doing? You don't want to be here? It's a gopher tortoise. Oh man, I don't want him to cross this road at all. Hopefully he turns around. We're gonna keep an eye on him. I don't want to go too far away from this guy. I love tortoises, I love turtles. I used to have a bunch of tortoises and turtles before my accident happened. So seeing this guy out here, I definitely want to make sure he's gonna be okay. So he was heading kind of this way, which makes me a little nervous because you can see there's a road behind us right here. We're not gonna venture too far. I'm going to turn around and come back just to keep an eye on him, but I don't want to bother him too much. I want to let him live his little turtle life and kind of do what he has to do, because he knows what he's up to. He knows what he's trying to get into. But if we can save him from getting ran over and make his life a little bit longer, then we're gonna try to do the best we can. So maybe we persuade him to go back the other direction. We'll see. All right, but let's move on right now. And yeah, welcome to the riding portion of today's video. And let me just tell you, so far, before we were, I'm not gonna say rudely interrupted by this tortoise, because it's definitely a blessing to be able to check him out. This bike feels really, really good. Tenways has been on my radar for a while now, and now that I finally got to ride the bike and see what it feels like, so impressed. And I'm gonna tell you all about it, so let's keep on going. So my first initial reaction to this bike was, wow, this thing is built very, very good, and it's extremely smooth. Now my favorite part about this bike when I saw it was that it has the Gates carbon belt drive on it. I am such a huge fan of belt-driven bikes. I think they are so cool, they are so smooth, and the maintenance on them is there's virtually none. This bike can go 18,000 miles on this Gates system without needing to be like serviced. Just imagine that, like having a metal chain, of like how much of a difference that is. It's insane. I wish more bikes had it, to be honest with you. And having an electric bike with it, really cool. Actually, we're on a bit of an incline right here. These bikes can handle 10% grades. Yeah, we're climbing up, no problem. I'm in the second power speed right now, and yeah, we're just doing 14 miles per hour up that piece of cake, but we're going to open it up in a little bit. I'm gonna see how fast this bike can get going. They say it goes 20. I'm gonna see if I can touch it. Okay, so I am in the highest power setting. We're gonna see what we can do right now. We're 18, 19, there's 20, 21, but you can see my cadence. You know, since it's a single speed, you're pretty much 20 comfortably. Anything above that is definitely going to be pedaling out, but it's good for when you get to a quick little hill and you want to blast down it though. We're gonna go make our way to another road that's gonna be a little bit more quiet, and I'm gonna play around with the different settings and see how, they feel compared to the other ones, and see what, you would want to use the bike for. Let's say if you were just commuting around, if you wanted to just put on a thing just to putt around the city, you just need to go a little bit faster than normal. Maybe you still want to use your legs, you could try it on one. Right now we're going pretty fast. We're still going 16 miles per hour, and I am currently going in the third power level, which is, you definitely can feel the difference right there. It feels really nice. So here we are, currently doing 15 miles per hour, 16 actually. I have no pedal assist on right now. This is just me. And let me tell you, this bike feels more like a regular bike than I expected it to. Because usually when you're riding an electric bike that doesn't have any power to it, it feels really sluggish. But let's just say if you went a little bit too far for this battery, if you somehow managed to do that, which is a really big distance, it goes about 53 miles on a charge, which is really crazy. You know, you can pedal this bike back, and look, I'm doing 14 mile per hour right here. Not really struggling. So let's move it up though. We got plenty of battery left. We're going on the first power level. That just made things a heck of a lot easier. I am doing 16, and I feel like I am just chilling, honestly. Feels really, really good. It's crazy thinking that there's 2 more power levels up from here. So we'll try it. We'll go to 2 right now. 1 quick little swift push of the button actually, which is really nice too. So now the electric is definitely, it's doing it for you. Like, you just pretty much have to just keep this thing pedaling, and it does perfectly fine. It really does, feels nice. I'm actually surprised that there is another power level after this. It's kind of crazy to think about because I feel like I'm maxed out right now. I feel like I can go like this for a while, but we'll go to 3 right now. We'll mix it up. Oh, and there's the turbo boost. Yeah, this thing's on rails once you put it in 3. It just wants to go. You just got to keep that thing pedaling around, make sure that your pedal strokes are consistent and fluid, and you are flying. 19 miles per hour right now. That is so crazy. Feels really nice though. Can't say it enough. This bike is very, very smooth. All right, let's slow it down a little bit. We're back into the first power level. I want to talk to you about the usage of this bike. What are you going to be using this bike for? What are you potentially looking for in a bike? If you're just cruising around town with a bike, like if you're just trying to get from point A to point B, maybe go to a restaurant, this bike is a really, really good option, especially for how smooth it is. Just think about it. The maintenance with the belt drive, amazing. This bike feels really, really, really solid. Smooth as could be. It feels very expensive. And that's what's so crazy about it, because this is a very, very reasonably priced bike. I couldn't believe it when I saw how much the bike was. Like this thing feels like a steal for everything that you get on this bike. I am really, really impressed with it. And currently, right now, just cruising, I'm just relaxing. There's enough pedaling that I have to do in the first power level to feel like I am doing something. It's not doing it for me. I'm still working, which I want to do, especially after my crash too. I don't want to be babied fully. Yes, things are hard for me, but I do want to feel like I'm a bike rider again. And the fact that I don't have that power, electric bikes are the answer for me. They give me that freedom again. They give me that ability to enjoy myself. And this bike's doing it right now for sure. So we're wrapping up the review. One thing I want to talk about is how lightweight this bike is for an electric bike. This bike weighs under 42 pounds, which is pretty insane. And I said it earlier about the way this bike looks so sleek being an electric bike. And I am just so impressed with the way this thing looks, the way this thing rides. And Tenways as a company, it seems like they are putting the effort in to make getting a bike and keeping a bike going as easy as possible. On their website, they have such great things about their service, how they are down to help. If you have any questions, they will answer back within 24 hours. And I am really happy that I got my hands on this bike. I am so thrilled about it. From the good looks of the bike all the way to the way this thing rides, very, very impressed. Now, if you want to get your hands on a CGO600 Pro, you guys can get yourself one from Tenways, but I'm going to put an affiliate link in the description of this video. And I would definitely appreciate if you use my link, especially if you're looking for an electric bike. I highly recommend this one to be cruising around with. This thing is a really, really nice bike, to say the least. So huge shout out to Tenways for letting me review this bike and also let me have this really amazing bike. I am very lucky to be me, and I'm very lucky to be back up on my feet, being able to ride my bike and being able to enjoy bikes. And it makes it a lot easier when you have an electric bike like Tenways. So guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this review. Remember, down below in the description is the affiliate link, and I hope you guys enjoy your Tenways when you get it. We'll see you next time. Peace.